drunk blooded and death backwards. Excuse me. Y'all don't know how politics work. It's ours. Popularity votes. Not politics.
And I am here to talk a little bit about Emerald and actually how we got to what you guys see. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm more after school. I don't really have a teacher. I do coach though. But I get the opportunity to talk about Emerald and the work we do and actually how we got to this point. At the end of the day, we want to serve kids. Every child, every neighborhood, to give them that opportunity for that full life. And our hope is that we can turn them into godly young adults that come back and give back to that community that they grew up in. I'm born and raised in East Knoxville, graduate of Knoxville East. I see a lot of road runners in here. For the last 4 years, I've had the opportunity to coach baseball at Knoxville East, and for the last 7 years, I've been working here at Emerald Youth Foundation. Specifically in East Knoxville, in the last 5 years is when I took over as our East Area Director. And we've actually been in East Knoxville since 1996. In 2005, we were moved into the Mount Zion location where we currently house about 90 young people each and every day in our after-school program. That's probably our longest standing facility that we have in Knoxville. With all of the work that we're doing in East Knoxville, we're only touching about 13% of the young people. We really believe that through this investment, that we can reach about 30%. And our model for doing that, what we call is faith, learning, and help. Through our faith component, we typically partner with churches, local churches in the neighborhoods that we serve to run our after-school program. And those young people are able to get homework help, tutoring, assistance with reading, math, all things educational. In addition to that, we are a faith-based program. That's not a secret, so we do offer them a devotion and a faith component as well, and try to get them connected to a local church on Sundays. Right now in East Knoxville, last year we were able to touch about 750, like I said, about 13%, which we're hoping to get that number up to more about 30%. And like I said, faith, learning, and health. So the learning part, well, we also have a high school program called Calling and Career. Currently, we were able to talk with Austin East to be able to have that program at Austin East as we go into this next year, working with those high school students, helping them figure out what their calling or their career could potentially be. We walk with them through their second year post-graduation. We try to sign them a mentor, so if any of you guys are interested in working with some of those high school students, please see me afterwards, because we're currently looking for mentors to walk alongside of them as well. It's no cost for those high school students to attend, and actually if you look at our after-school program, we charge $65 a semester, roughly about $5 a week. And that's the only charge that they'll see. And then we look at our health piece, probably one of the biggest programs that we have, and that's through our sports. Easiest way to look at that is all the sports that a young person can participate in when they go into high school. We try to offer that as a support. We do a lot at different levels. We have our recreational, we offer middle school sports, and then we offer more of a competitive level as well. When you look at I would say at the middle school level, you guys may not know this, but the only what we call sanctioned sports at the middle school level is basketball, cheer, and track. So when you see the young people in the areas that we serve, such as Vine and Holston, participating in volleyball, participating in baseball, and in soccer, those are sports that have no funding provided by the schools, right? So we have stepped in to be able to offer these programs so that these young people can participate in those. With all of the young people that participate in those sports, we also do BMI, we do health testing with them, we offer performance training, all that you can think of in the realm of sports to help those young people be successful once they go into high school. Around 2019 is when we finished the Lonsdale Complex. Around that same time, like I said, I stepped into this East Area Director role. We began to get questions asked that when would we be able to get something like this in East Knoxville? Being someone from East Knoxville, I thought it was a great idea. I know that I personally asked Steve and the leadership at Emerald like when would we be able to duplicate what we're seeing in East Knoxville? And that's actually what started the conversations initially, probably around the 2020 time frame. Around 2022 is when we actually hosted our first open forum. That meeting was held at the Change Center. The Change Center actually partnered with us to host that meeting, in which we had a pretty good feedback. We call it a community conversation, just to hear from people in the neighborhood, just to hear from families and young people in the neighborhood, to see if we was to do something like that in East Knoxville, what would y'all like to see in it? And fast forward to today, that's ultimately how we got here. In 2022 is actually when we formed that committee that you guys have seen and heard about, that's actually chaired by my good Reverend Brother Dr. Harold Millbrook, along with 12 other people, in which we did begin those community conversations. And I know that that number of 500 is one that you guys continue to see. Those were 500 conversations. Those were meetings that I know I personally had with neighborhood associations, with businesses, with daycares, with churches, with everybody that, with different people in this East Knoxville community. I spoke at Town Hall East. I was anywhere that I could be invited to, I went to begin to have those conversations, as well as the other members of that community. I'm sorry, of that East Engagement community, to be able to have that conversation. We really wanted to get community feedback. We really wanted to get ideas from the young people. We had a forum that was specifically for students. We held it at the Change Center as well. A lot of what we heard back from the community was the things that we were currently doing, faith, learning, and health. All right. Even as you look at what we're proposing with this concept drawing here, we had to submit that when we submitted for the RFP process. A lot of what you see up there, a lot of the feedback that we got was not just ideas that we had, that was things that people was asking for. One of the biggest things that I constantly kept hearing was that young people was not able to come onto the facility in Lonsdale because they were being put off and getting off of it. We heard that. I'm not sure of the time of the day that those young people was there, but we do run our leagues that we have. But on this particular property, if you look kind of at the bottom of it, that's MLK, the top of it is Magnolia. You see an unrentable field, no lines, allowing young people just to come and participate in recreational activities of their choosing, one that wouldn't be available to host sports leagues or anything like that. We heard we want a space that we could walk at, so you see a half-mile walking trail that's going around that property, because I remember back when you could go to the high school to walk on the track, but once it gets dark now, there's two little lights that shine, and it's not safe. And so we heard that. So we put that walking trail. What you see there is multi-purpose fields, right? When you look at it initially, I know some people think soccer. You'll see football lines if we get into it. You'll see flag football lines, because girls flag football is a thing that's happening now. You'll see baseball field lines, all right? But we consider multi-purpose field. I'm sorry. Will we plant trees? I'm sure there will be some trees. But I say all this to say that this is a concept drawing. Nothing here is set in stone. We had to submit something to talk about what could be on that property if we were able to move forward. But those multi-purpose fields, one of the conversations, because I was privileged to be in those conversations with Austin East High School specifically, and the coaches, if you're familiar with anything that happens over there around 6 o'clock, we're at a landlock, right? A landlock. We have one field and a baseball field that just got redone. And with that one field, if you go up there right now, you're going to see the high school football team, you're going to see the soccer team, you're going to see the middle school team, you're going to see people walking around the track, you're going to see girls flag football practicing. Through conversations that we've had with the coaches, with the athletic director, I coach at the middle school level with the baby roll runners, right? If you go up there right now, you're going to see cheer practicing in the parking lot without access to the bathrooms. And through these conversations, with all of those organizations, with the commissions, yes, they would be able to use these facilities, right? We've had those conversations with them. We've gotten support from them. I've seen some of the posts of some of the coaches commenting on that, and when we're talking to them, they're all for what we're doing here. Those faith learning pieces that I talked about in the building that you see in the bottom left corner, that's where those particular programming will be taking place. And in the top right corner, what you see there is a 10,000 square foot medical facility, right? We know that in East Knoxville, it's a health desk. And so in conversations with our board chair, as well as all the CEOs of the major health facilities in this area, they've been talking about the amount of people that can be served by putting some type of a healthcare facility on this property as well. And there's plenty of other things, but like I said initially, it's a concept drawn up and set in stone. And so we'll be around. Thank you guys for the time. If you have any questions, I'll be around.